Hello everyone, welcome to Stitchin' Ain't Easy. My name is Ashley. Today is January the 26th, 2021. I thank you so very much for joining me today. I thought I'd come on today and just bring another Crochet Ramblings. So there's probably going to be some talking and some crochet. So I have, I think, just the one finished object, quite a few whips. And then some plans and things that I want, to make. So that's what it's gonna be about. Okay, so first I'm gonna show you my finished object, and I'm so very happy to have this finished. This is my blanket. And I know it's wonky right here, and I'm okay with it. That was the plan. Okay. Alright, so my sweet friend Rebecca, hi Rebecca, how are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day, by the way, deemed this blanket my travel blanket. If you watched my crochet with me video, then you saw me working on this. If not, then perhaps it's new to you. I made this blanket for myself. I don't make things for myself very often, but I made this for myself so that I can have it to snuggle with on my trip to Louisiana. My trips to Louisiana, should I say. So anyway, my sweet friend Rebecca deemed this my travel blanket. She said because it's going to be traveling with me on my journey to become healthier, and I thought that was so sweet, and I love it. So ladies and gents, my travel blanket. And it's like heaven, it's so soft. Okay, so the gray yarn is the Red Heart Hygge in the color Sterling. And this yarn, or this blue, should I say, this beautiful baby blue, is Yarn Bee Luciana in the color Aqua. I got these, the Hygge, half off whenever our Walmart went out. And then I got the Luciana at the Hobby Lobby sale. So I don't have a lot in this blanket, so that's pretty exciting. So in total, I used 3 of the Yarn Bee. 1, 2, 3. And I only did these until they were even. Until I didn't think I, didn't have enough yarn and just snipped it. So that's why it's weird right here. Because I just used the whole skein of yarn and didn't stop. So that's what makes it look like that. But that's okay. And then I used 6 total of the Hygge yarn, and so that's 3. And that's 3, and same thing, I just did it until I ran out of yarn on those, so I don't even have scraps of the Hygge yarn. I just did it until I was out. So anyway, it is so very soft, and it's really long. As soon as I did sew my ends in on it. Aren't you proud of me? Anyway, but as soon as I got my ends sewn in on it, my husband was laying next to me asleep. He was on the couch. I just threw it on him, and the next morning he's like, "Thank you so much for that blanket. The thing's amazing." I was like, "Yay, cool, it'll be good." But it's so snuggly, so finished object. Yay. Sorry, just a second, I gotta set it over here. Okay, throw it up on the bed. There's nowhere else to put it. Okay, so that's my finished object. Another continued work in progress is my temperature blanket. I'm doing granny squares for each month, and then the months that don't have 31 days, I'm just going to finish out those rows in black and then sew them all together, and then I'm going to do 12 granny squares and then sew them all together and do a black border. I'm thinking about doing like a backing on it also, but I probably will because of the squares of the granny or the holes in the granny square, but it's going to be ginormous. So today is the 26th, so yeah. Anyway, whoop. This is it. I think it's turning out so pretty, but it's going to be huge. This is 1 month, not even 1 month. So it'll be a good queen or king size blanket whenever it's all done. So as I've mentioned before, this is like when it snows is the white, and when it rains is this color, this dark blue. And so it rained the other day, and then it got cold, and today it is like the high of 37. It's freezing out. I mean, not quite freezing, but almost. So anyway, so that's that. Okay, excuse me. Another whip that I've been working on for a while. I finally got the last skein of yarn that I need to be able to complete this project, and I'm so happy. I've had the yarn for a little bit, but Christmas and craziness and all that, I didn't get it finished. So what I'm making is a plaid blanket for my daughter, and I haven't sewn them together. I mean, I've sewn them together, but not, you'll see. Okay. So this is what it's looking like. Except, like I said, it'll be sewn together. So far it's not, but anywho. Okay. So they're all Hobby Lobby yarn. This dark green is I Love This Yarn Jelly Bean, which is the last skein that I needed. I got one. My mama. Thank you, Mama. Okay, because you use, whenever you're doing the plaid blanket, just so you know, whatever your darker color be, like, if you do like a red or blue or whatever, like the darker shade of that color, you're going to use twice as much of it as you do the black or the lighter color, just so you know. So anyway, okay, Jelly Bean, also I Love This Yarn in the color Limelight, and then just I Love This Yarn Black. So I have that. I have to sew together, obviously. I have a whole bunch of squares to finish it out. Like I said, and then this one, so I just need to make, I just used the full skein, so I mean, I don't even remember how many I made. I think it was, I don't remember how many each one made. I'll have to count it up. Whenever I do it, then I'll count up and see how many one skein makes, but I just used the whole thing the last few times until I didn't think I could make a square anymore. And my squares are 4 rows, and I just use my 5.5 hook, my favorite one. Then, like I said, I'm using all I Love This Yarn, or all Hobby Lobby, I mean, not all I Love This Yarn. It's stuck on my pencil. Okay, I'm sewing it together with the Yarn Bee Glint of Clam in the color black. I got this for $1.37 at the Hobby Lobby clearance, but I thought it'd be fun to have a little bit of some blingy in it, so that's what I'm sewing it together with. So let's see, that sort of. I'm sewing it together with single crochet. I know that's not very exciting, but that's what I'm doing. So this one's pretty fun. I wish I would have got some more of those, but that's okay. It should be plenty to sew it together. So I have that to work on. I have that to finish. So that's going to be what I'm going to be working on today. Once I get like all of the green and black together, I want to do probably 2 rows of just black granny squares like all the way around, or some really cool border. Probably just do granny squares, honestly, just to kind of keep with the theme. Anyway, just do a big huge border all the way around it. So I have plenty of, well, I don't know about plenty of black, but I have some black. I don't know how much of the I Love This Yarn. I would really like to keep it the same, because this stuff's so soft. If you guys have never tried I Love This Yarn, and you're some of my American people, that's the thing. I don't think everybody has Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. It's like, oh, it's my favorite. I love that yarn. I mean, for real. So, okay. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Okay, also, speaking of the baby girl, my daughter, I mentioned a couple videos back that I want to make her an octopus. I'm going to use the Bernat blanket and make her a big ginormous octopus pillow. That is my plan. I'm still doing that. But when we moved from our last house, excuse me, we moved from our last house like 5 years ago to here, somehow, you know, you lose things in the move. I don't know why, but somehow something always gets lost in the move, it seems like. Okay, well, she had this big, ginormous caterpillar that like stretched the length of her bed and then around a little bit. I mean, it was huge. It's probably a good 6 feet tall. She loved that caterpillar. We don't know what happened to it. So it was just like kind of pastel-y but bright. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, like these sort of, like that blue and maybe that like just kind of like bright pastel colors. So I think it'd be fun to try to recreate her caterpillar. So I'm just going to try to do big, huge circles. I'm still going to make her octopus, but I feel like the girl needs the caterpillar more right now. So anyway, so I'm just going to make big circles. And then, I mean, I've seen like caterpillar tutorials and patterns and things, so I figure I could just do that and then just like increase, just make it a lot bigger maybe. Anyway, each section of it was a completely different color. And then it had like big huge eyes and a smile and big huge antenna, and so that's my plan, is to work on her that. So I want to get this finished before I start another darn project because I have so many things going on between this, our family blanket, the movie, and a stitch. But to be quite honest, this and our family blanket are just big granny square easy stuff, so that's nice. So I want to get that finished and then start her caterpillar. That's my plan. I don't know when it'll happen, but I want to make her a caterpillar before I do the octopus, just because she's mentioned that thing so many times since we've moved. So it's like, okay, make the girl a caterpillar. Okay. Also, just real fun, just for fun. I shared the other day. Oh, I just smacked my hand. That was really smart, Ashley. I shared the other day that Heather from the Crochet Witch saves the ends, like these guys, the ones you're supposed to sew in, and snips them, and she saves them to put inside of her amigurumi, or her mother-in-law. She sends them to her for her amigurumi stuffing, and so I thought that was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant idea, and so I've been doing that, and this is my progress so far. My marinara jar is looking pretty good, so I might have to upgrade to a bigger jar. My kids just finished off some of those pretzels, like the peanut butter filled pretzels in a little fancy jar with a lid, and I think I'm going to have to swipe that because they don't have a lid and I won't knock it over. But anyway, I'm making progress. I'm so excited. Okay, also, if you guys have watched before, then perhaps you know I made hats and some amigurumis for some sweet little babies in Oklahoma City. The lady that I sent them with, they had to reschedule her son's appointment because of COVID. And so that gives me an extra month. They're pushing it back until, like I said, an extra month away. So I have a whole nother month. I already gave her all of my stuff. She has everything already. But, like I said, I've said that I wanted to keep adding to that, my bag. I have a bag that's like my goal, to fill it up and send to her. But I'm going to go ahead and start adding more things so that she can have them to take more things with her. So anyway, so yeah. So I'm going to be working on some more amigurumis. I need to get stuffing before I can do very many. I have enough for maybe one more little guy, maybe two. Anyway, but I'm wanting to make a lot of hats, and I have a bunch of yarn set aside already for those hats, so I've got to get to work on that. So the blanket, the hats, caterpillar, those are my plans. So oh, way too many things on my plate all at once, but they're all pretty easy things, really. And it's crochet, so how fun is that, you know? But anyway, and as far as this temperature blanket, like today I did, 6 rows? So it's like I've kind of just been writing down what happens and then doing a few rows at a time. So I haven't really been doing it every day like I'm supposed to, mostly because I'm doing the family blanket, but also because that just seems like a lot. So I've just been kind of writing it down and then going through, but I don't want to get too far behind either. I don't want to be like in March still on January, because then I probably won't finish it. So I'm going to stay with it for the most part. So anyway, I think that's all that I have to share. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down. I think that was it. Who knows? If not, then I mean, I can always come back and say hello to y'all again, right? So, yeah, so like I said, so now I'm going to go sew these together, sew my little square pieces together, and start making some granny squares so I can finish her blanket, so I can start on our caterpillar. Don't tell her, it's a secret. Even though when I was talking about it just a second ago, she came out of her room, so I hope she didn't hear me. Yay. Alright. So anyway, so thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon for our family blanket, I guess, tomorrow, right? So, tonight's family game night, family movie night. I'm excited. So, thank you guys so very much for watching. Please stay safe. I'll see you later. Bye.